Okay, well, hi folks. My name is Garland E. Harris, and I'm the president and CEO of the Dream Factory. And I wanted to talk to you about something that's very, very exciting. Some of you may know that the Dream Factory was developed, acquired, designed, and structured to raise $1 to $5 million for 62,400 companies each. $1 to $5 million for each one of those companies. And everything about it was set up to help the small company raise capital and go public. Occasionally we come across what I consider an absolutely stellar situation, opportunity, company, and that happened this time. Someone that we did business with years ago, about almost 5 years ago, a gentleman named John Page, who has been in the satellite business for 14 years, in the telecommunications business for over 30 years, brought an opportunity to me, actually two opportunities. It started with one. A company he was working with and had worked with and for about 3 years was about to go bankrupt. And they had developed a way of basically doubling the amount of space available for commercial satellites. And if you know anything about satellites, you know how dynamic the growth of that industry is because of HD TV, because of all the interactivity that's being looked for these days, because people want more control, because of things like Twitter and Facebook and MySpace and Friend Finder and so many other of these social networks. The demand for bandwidth, for interactivity has grown almost exponentially. Now about half of the pay TV market is satellite. So you have cable and you also have satellite. The satellite people are demanding interactivity like the cable people have. But on a large scale, on a massive scale, the satellite industry has not kept up. And as well as they're running out of space to put satellites. There's a ring of geostationary satellites that go around the Earth, approximately at the equator. And as the Earth moves, these satellites move with it. So they basically see or have a footprint in the same spot on the Earth. Well, those satellites are 2 degrees apart, which means there's only 180 of them possible. Plus, sometimes they have some a little closer to the Earth that put out a different signal that won't interfere with the signal of the main one. But there's a limited amount of space. Well, one of these companies actually came up with a way of putting satellites approximately 40 degrees off from that, which provide additional bandwidth, basically doubling the amount of usable commercial satellite space for the satellite services industry, which is an $84 billion industry that has grown 8% even in 2008 during times of economic downturn. A second opportunity, because after you have the signal coming from the air, you have to have something on the ground. A second opportunity is a company called Sirona, and we're acquiring from that company the patents and intellectual property to enable, on a large scale, HD TV combined with interactivity. This is really huge. For this particular patent and this particular combination of services that it makes available, we have the only patents. And it's a global patent that only has 2 exceptions to the patent. 1, the Navajo Indian tribe, and 2, the FBI. So this is really tremendous. It gives us, I would say, a huge advantage moving forward. Now, first of all, the Dream Factory is the company that formed or founded the company to own this property, these intellectual properties, with John Page. The Dream Factory is 90% owner. John Page is 10%. So between John Page and the Dream Factory, we own this company called ISN, or Interactive Satellite Networks. So it's possible to be involved in the growth of that company, either directly by getting involved. One could invest in Interactive Satellite Networks. You can only do that if you were an accredited investor. And this little video is not primarily to interest you in that. This is not an offer to purchase stock. This is not what this is about. It's just to give you information. Some of you, of course, are shareholders. Others of you just want to know what the Dream Factory has been up to and what the Dream Factory is up to. Others have just wanted to know the information about what's so exciting about this satellite thing you always keep talking about. So that's what I wanted to tell you about. A lot of you are my Twitter followers or other friends on email or on Facebook, and you want to know, so I'm telling you. But it's very, very exciting to have a way of increasing the usable space for satellites with patented technology that no one else has, and two, how to handle the signal once it gets to the ground. Because just because you have a satellite signal beaming down or even beaming back up doesn't mean you have a way of handling that interactivity on the ground. Well, we do with interactive satellite networks, which is a part of a 90% owned subsidiary of the Dream Factory. So that's what that's about. Now, how could you get involved? Well, some of you, of course, are already shareholders of the Dream Factory, and if you wanted to be a shareholder of the Dream Factory, you could, of course, contact me by email, garlandeharris@gmail.com. That's garlandeharris@gmail.com. If you email me, I'm more than happy to give you my phone number so that you can call me directly and talk to me and ask specific questions about the Dream Factory and how you might want to be involved. The Dream Factory is a publicly traded company, so the shares of the Dream Factory are available basically to anyone. The Dream Factory doesn't trade on the pink sheets, and it doesn't trade on the NASDAQ or the New York Stock Exchange. It chose to trade privately where individuals who have shares can sell to other individuals who want shares, so that there is no shorting of the stock and no one can actually acquire stock that doesn't have the wherewithal to do so. So that's what's particular about the Dream Factory. Of course, with interactive satellite networks, as I mentioned before, you would have to be an accredited investor, which means that you would have to have a net worth of at least $1 million, or you earned $200,000 2 years ago, $200,000 last year, and it looks like you're going to earn $200,000 this year. Or husband and wife, it would be $300,000, $300,000, and $300,000. So that's how you'd be involved, and you could be involved with both if you choose to, as long as you are an accredited investor. But again, that's just if you want to be involved somehow, if you're not already involved as a Dream Factory shareholder. Now the real point of this video. I'd like to get this information out. And as some of you know, the way we have helped companies before and raised capital for companies before is using what I call a syndicated nodal system. It is this system which we start with basically about 20 people, and in 3 months we raise up to $5 million. It takes about 20 people to start. At the end of approximately 3 months, we'll have 2,000 people, and individuals would have participated to the tune of $2,500 apiece. Now, I say participate because we don't sell stock. We're not stock brokers. We're not broker-dealers. We're not investment advisors. We're not accountants. We're not attorneys. We're not anyone in the professional investment sphere. So we can't tell people what they should invest in. We don't do that. And we don't sell stock. We do sell something we call troptions. Troptions are a barter currency or a trade currency. People can buy troptions with their cash, and then with their troptions they can buy anything they choose, really, that's available. There are approximately $90 million, $90 million worth of products and services available that one could use their troptions to purchase. Just one of those includes free trading stock in the Dream Factory, and for accredited investors, it would include stock in interactive satellite networks. So, again, we don't sell stock. We can't do that. I couldn't pay commissions on the sale of stock or anything like that. But we do sell troptions. And someone could purchase troptions, and we can start with a small group and grow to a much bigger group. And people are able to profit and benefit in that endeavor. So, I'll tell you more about that in the next video. Thank you.